Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another Ego on Break. I'm your host, Dynamite J. Andrews. Dynamite J. Andrews, joined by the Mississippi Madman, Logan Creed. So, what's up, Madman?
Not a thing, man.
Not a thing. Well, the Madman has been missing in action for a week, and he hadn't watched any wrestling. So, don't look to him to...
I'll just give you opinions. Piss everybody off.
Why not? So, right off the bat, I want to thank our sponsors, Norville Chiropractic Clinic, No Limit Jiu-Jitsu, House Show Podcast. Those guys do a lot to help support us, support Pro Wrestling Ego. So if you ever find yourself in need of either chiropractic or a podcast to listen to, or want to learn jiu-jitsu, those are the guys to go see. If not, just shoot them a message on Facebook and say thanks for supporting Pro Wrestling Ego. So sometimes that means more than anything.
Yeah.
We had a big weekend in Pro Wrestling Ego as we took the trip down to McGee, Mississippi for Simpson County SMACKDOwn. Friday we went and myself and JD Jenkins participated in Dr. Seuss's Read Across America.
Nice.
We cheated just a little bit as we didn't read a Dr. Seuss book, but we read a Young Bucks book because we're wrestlers and that's what wrestlers do. They read wrestling books. So, sorry, Dr. Seuss. We didn't mean to...
Did it rhyme?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But it did feature a bully named Jimmy, and I don't know where they could have got the inspiration from that, because I'm sure there's nobody named Jimmy or anything similar that would, bully the Young Bucks. But if you figure that out, kudos to you. So so we did that, and
play tennis.
Do what?
Make him want to go play tennis.
Yeah. I heard Jimmy's good at tennis. But we did that, and it was cool because JD would wrap every time we read to a different class, he would wrap it up with, don't be a Jimmy, don't be a bully. So it was pretty funny. I
brought you and yo Jimmy up here to get one of my girls.
So we did that. So that was kind of fun. Then we went over to the high school and had a secret show just for the high school students.
Nice.
That was very different for us. It's really the first time myself has promoted that. We've done it under Ego before, but with different people setting those events up and stuff, right? But the crowd at McGee was really, really rabid. So
I saw the video too. It looked like the kids really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was fun. So I think they had a blast doing that. And then I'll give you a rundown of the matches. And just tell me what you think about the matchup or who you thought would have won, and then I'll tell you who wins.
Okay.
All right, first match, the Nightmare took on Wes Warren.
I'll stick with Nightmare.
Okay.
I've worked him.
All right. Nightmare came very, very close to winning that match, but he was defeated by Wes Warren, who pulled out an old trick, but he hit the bombs away knee drop off the top rope. It's very cool.
Not for Nightmare.
Yeah, not for Nightmare. I'm sure he had a knot. And that may have been why he was extra ornery the next night. But Wes Warren defeated Nightmare with a bombs away knee drop. And moved on up into the winner's bracket. And so he got to get the, what do they say?
Take it to the pay window, baby.
Yeah, he got the winner's share of the purse. So then we had Ursa Major. He defended his Styles Championship against McGee's own Paul Wright.
Nice.
Who you got?
I'm going to go with Ursa on that one.
You're correct. Ursa Major did retain his Styles Championship. And it was a little tricky because at one point the referee got distracted and old Ursa kicked old Wright in the lower extremities. And that led to the win. So Ursa Major did retain, but it was a little underhanded tactics.
Shattered dreams.
Right, yeah, definitely shattered dreams for Riot. Riot did get on the microphone and he promised the crowd that, today did not work out. He was defeated, but it would not be the same tomorrow night, that Saturday night at Simpson County SmackDown. And it was cool because the big rivalry at that high school is Mendenhall versus McGee. Yeah. Wright graduated from McGee. Ursa Major graduated from Mendenhall. And I'm pretty sure I mentioned that several times that I was bringing those guys out.
Imagine that.
So if the Great Bear didn't scare them, they definitely hated him because he was from Mendenhall.
Now, he didn't have Sterling that night.
He
right?
did not have Sterling.
But he has him the next night.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, J.D. Jenkins came out and said he has been asked to pick one of the winners from either the first match or the second match to defend his title against. He said he's in McGee and he's a full-time beast, so he ain't picking one, he's picking both. So we got a triple threat featuring J.D. Jenkins versus Ursa Major versus Wes Warren. What do you think?
Wes.
What do you think?
Poor Wes.
Poor Wes. Poor Wes indeed. So it was definitely a poor Wes situation, and
They beat the hell out of him.
well, I'll tell you what, Wes did lose, but they knew he was there. Yeah. And if you're going to be in a fight and you're going to lose, the best case scenario is make sure those guys know you're there.
Yeah.
I will tell you that the match was crazy. It lasted about 35 minutes. Super freaking long. Started out in the ring, went up into one section of the bleachers, went over to the other section of bleachers, went down into the crowd. I mean, at the end, you would think this was just a street fight because all the students of it just ganged around the guys, and they were like, Trojans, Trojans, and they were just pumping the guys up.
Trojan man.
Yeah, at one time, JD came out of he went back to the locker room, came back out, he had a McGee football jersey on, and when he did that, man, did the crowd get behind him. And every time he'd get hit or get down or get kicked, they'd be like, you can't go down. You're a Trojan now. Get your ass up. So coming from high school students, it's pretty fun.
All right.
But that was the secret show. JD did retain. He hit the Jinkinator onto Wes Warren, but Wes Warren landed onto Ursa Major. So I don't know who got the worst end of that deal.
I think it all sucked.
But yeah, it couldn't have been fun for either Ursa or Wes Warren. But it was fun for JD as he got the win.
Nice.
All right, and then Saturday night. And I'm going to pull my notebook out because, you know, I'm special and can't remember. So, the first match was Wes Warren versus Christopher Santos. Christopher Santos, and our thoughts and prayers go out to him because he is dealing with some knee issues following the match. Wes Warren locked him in the sharpshooter. I don't know if that's where the knee injury came from or what. But he did tap out, and I do know that he is scheduled for a MRI today.
Good luck, bro.
Yes, so Wes Warren may have found a deadly maneuver in the sharpshooter. I mean,
the West there is, the West there was, and the West there will be.
And that's him.
There you go.
So Wes did move on up. You know, he's moving up the ranks, you know, in ego. He's definitely got an impressive streak since he got that one win over Ursa Major. Well, not over Ursa. Yeah, was it over Ursa? The Southern Eight, the Great Southern Eight. His team defeated Stardust team. Wes had been on a bit of a losing streak, but since then, I mean, he has really put more W's down than he has L's. So, great job, Wes Warren.
There you go.
Our second match was Paul Wright versus Alex Graves versus Colt Storm. Riot did deliver on his promise that he would be victorious the second night as he hit Alex Graves with a moonsault off the top rope.
I saw the picture of the moonsault. The pictures look very awesome.
Very cool. Alex should be thankful that, 185-pound Paul Wright landed on him and not 270-pound Paul Wright. So,
yeah,
although it did put Alex down for the pin, I guess it could have been worse if we would have had Riot from a year ago.
Yeah.
So,
I saw that one time he hit on that one old boy.
Yeah. So, Riot has lost a lot of weight, and, I think he's starting to take wrestling serious, and hopefully we're going to see a new and improved Paul Wright.
Wait, this was maskless Riot, right?
Yes, this was Paul the Riot Riles as he graduated McGee, and I guess he put his demon away for long enough to be a good guy for one night.
Yeah, it happens.
I guess we will find out if the mask stays off or if the mask comes back. Because something about that mask, once he puts that mask on, he's not a nice guy.
No, it happens.
So, it is what it is. But Paul Wright did walk away with a win.
There you go.
All right, our third match, the Nightmare with Bristol Hales faced Federated branded athlete Mike Orlando. Mike Orlando and Allie Rex made the trip down from New Jersey. So we were super appreciative to have them there. But unfortunately, Nightmare is both evil and smart, as he outsmarted Mike Orlando. Bristol threw Nightmare brass knuckles, or what I assume was brass knuckles.
A foreign object.
A foreign object. Orlando took that away from Nightmare. The ref took it away from Orlando in that process. Nightmare hit Orlando with a chain. And bada bing, bada boom, Nightmare wins.
I've used that trick before. It works quite well.
It does. It does. Then we got the ode to wrestling in Simpson County. We got the Battle from Battle Zone. We got Marvelous Monty Warbucks versus the Pharaoh Funk. Now, to add a little bit of backstory to this, Monty came out and he didn't take it very easy on the McGee crowd and the McGee football team, and said, unlike them, he's a real winner and blah, blah, blah.
He's marvelous.
That the 504 would always be better than the 601. This prompted McGee's high school coach to come out and, he basically said, if you want to get these hands, you can get these hands, but I can't give them to you, but I got somebody that will. Pharaoh Funk brought him out, and the crowd was happy to see old Funky won. So, yeah, go figure. But,
that name these days still just,
ain't it a great name? But, I guess he could have been the Sultan of Stinky. I mean, I guess Pharaoh Funk does sound better. But, at some point, the poor referee, I think he called a Monty Warbucks splash in the corner, which couldn't have been good for the ref. He went down. Monty went for the pin. There was nobody there.
So Monty got screwed?
Basically,
that
yes.
Sucked.
The coach did come in. Monty got in his face. Coach delivered a Stone Cold Stunner. The Pharaoh hit a Stone Cold Stunner. The Pharaoh pinned Monty, and the coach made a 3 count.
That's not
so
right.
Technically, I don't even know if Pharaoh won the match or not. So I guess we'll have to review that and see what the referee's final decision. Is he going to allow the coach to be a one-time only referee? Who knows?
I don't think the referee's supposed to give you a stunner.
Technically, he wasn't a referee. He was a coach. So, but there's that. I will say, thankfully, as bad as Monty splashing the referee probably felt, the ref did have one blessing that night, as Monty had a chair. That's what Monty got, a chair.
Well, he had to sit down. He was tired.
Yeah, he was tired. The coach came in, took the chair away from him, and threw it down, and it literally missed the referee's head by centimeters. I mean, centimeters. Like maybe if you laid like a piece of paper sideways, that's how close it was from the referee catching a chair to his skull without him knowing it was coming while he was laying on the gym floor.
Something about our refs and chairs.
So, was not a good night, or wouldn't have been a good night for the ref. It definitely wasn't a good night, but it could have been worse. So, luckily, all that happened, and the ref didn't die. So that brings us to the first title match. This is the Styles title. Ursa Major with Stardust, or Sterling. He has a bit of a identity crisis, so it's hard to keep up with sometimes.
I understand.
Ursa Major with Sterling came to the ring, called out Ray Fury. Ray Fury came out. Crowd went crazy. There was yeets everywhere, and Ursa was doing good for a while, and then Ray got on that comeback, and he was firing him up, and I guess they panicked, I assume. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure. I don't know if Alex Graves was trying to save the day, seeing how he lost earlier in the night. Alex came out, attempted to hit Ray Fury with the tag team titles, or with one of the title belts. Ray ducked. Ursa Major caught it to the face, which I'm sure sucked for him. One sling blade later for Alex Graves, and he's no longer there. Froggy elbow for Ursa Major, and he's no longer Styles champion. And meltdown from Sterling did we see, as he ripped off his bandages and started punching and slapping himself in the face, to the point where I was like, calm down, kid.
I heard he actually went out back and threw up.
I'm sure he did, and it was probably because he beat himself up. You ever seen Jim Carrey's Liar Liar or whatever, where he beats himself up in the bathroom?
Yep.
That's pretty much Sterling. Like, he was so upset. Like, I'm sure he's probably got like a black eye today.
I never whooped my own ass.
Yeah, like, he was pretty rough on himself.
Wow.
So I can only imagine the consequences that Alex Graves is going to have to face, or has faced, when he got back to the Starship. Because Sterling was severely upset.
So he was disturbed this time.
Oh, he was disturbed with a bunch of R's in there, and he was probably.
Well, he's still the tag champions.
They are that. So 1 title gone, 2 remain. So there's that. Then we get to our semi-main event. Bristol Hell takes on Thunderblind. The crowd was really behind Thunderblind.
Mm-hmm.
And right before the match started, General Manager Chuck McMullen came out and said, Bristol, you know what? You've caused a lot of havoc. You know, you've did a lot of things. You know, you interfered in the match with Mike Orlando. So just to up the ante just a little bit, Allie Rex, federated branded athlete, we're putting her in the match. It's going to be a triple threat. Well, it backfired for Bristol as she didn't win the match. So I guess that part worked.
Yeah.
It did not backfire for Bristol as she was not the one beat, as Thunderblind got beat by Allie Rex. And then I guess the move set Bristol off as she attacked Thunderblind. Why you beat up Thunderblind after she's been beaten, I don't know. But hey, you beat her up.
She's the easier one to beat up. What's wrong with you?
You make a good point.
Always kick a man when they're
Yeah,
down.
so Bristol did. She kicked her when she was down and stomped her head, and I think she gave her a leg drop, and yeah, you know, that good stuff. So, wasn't a good night for Thunderblind.
Will there be a rematch down the road, maybe?
I'm pretty sure it's going to have to be. So,
Sweet.
but yeah, and then main event, JD Jenkins took on Cody Vance.